got our final Master Set players for the Nations of Hockey event. So in this video, we're going to rank all 12 of them. I want to reiterate for anyone that's maybe newer, you always want to wait for the week 2 cards to come out before you invest your resources in making a Master Set player, especially if you are not spending any money in the game, which you shouldn't, because this is a prime example. The Master Set selection in week 2 is so far and away better than week 1. One has to think that they're really trying to milk the community before Team of the Year. That said, you are able to get a completely free Master Set player by completing the objectives and live moments, which you can't complain about. It is going to take you some time, but one of my staples throughout my time as a content creator has been to drive home the fact that EA needs to at least give us the availability to make a Master Set player every single event if you don't spend money in the game, so at least they check that box off. As well, this is a tier list. Team context is going to matter, so keep that in mind. Let's get into it. Now, also, keep in mind the cost for each of these Master Set players. Again, I'm going to go over some of the basics in these videos at the start of the year, simply because there are newer players that are joining us, so bear with me. But the first tier will cost you 10,000 coins. If you refund the tier, you will get half back, meaning that you will get 5,000 coins. But then tier 3 and tier 4 each cost 1 power-up collectible. When you refund that, you will get the power-up collectible back, meaning that these essentially are just being rented. Once you get into any of the upgrade tiers that have more than 1 power-up collectible as a cost, you will lose at least 1. So for the tiers that have 2, you're going to lose a power-up collectible, and that's roughly about 20,000 coins in value. When you get up to the tier 7 and 8, it does appear that they're not giving you 2 power-up collectibles back if you refund. You're only getting 1, so that means you are losing 4 power-up collectibles for these last 2 tiers. In all, if you include the fact that you will get power-up collectibles back, these Master Set players will cost you about 130,000 coins in value. So again, keep that in mind. We'll start with the D tier. Nothing's changed here. Ryan Ellis might be one of the worst Master Set player builds that we've ever gotten in Hockey Ultimate Team. I want to be clear here. I actually think this is a fun card, and it actually makes sense if you watch the World Junior run that Ryan Ellis had. He had a couple huge slap shot goals for Team Canada, but when it comes to Hockey Ultimate Team, it's legitimately the worst build that you could have on a defenseman. He's not overly fast, his body checking is in the 70s, and his defensive awareness doesn't even touch 90, and we're about to be in January. So hard avoid unless you are a diehard Nashville Predator fan. Also in the D tier is the 89 John Gibson. Last week, I gave him the benefit of the doubt because of the good zone ability, essentially the perfect combination of showstopper as well as instincts. However, it really doesn't matter, guys. Again, if you are going to build this card and his value is at 130,000 coins, there's way better options than John Gibson. And even if there are better options, they won't really matter. Your defense is what dictates how good your goalie plays. On to the C tier. And like I mentioned in my event breakdown video, I just wish one time they would give John Tavares a decent skater card. And I thought the World Junior event might be the time to do it. However, they gave him 90 skating across the board, which isn't terrible, but there are options that are the exact same skating that are way bigger or offer far better abilities. For example, the Hut Champs Eric Lindros is miles better than this John Tavares card. I will say his shot is actually pretty good when you get his synergies activated. He really needs defensive boost, in my opinion, to boost up his faceoff rating even higher. 90 isn't bad, but again, compared to other centermen, there just are better options. On top of that, he's got 85 defensive awareness for a player that you want to help defend the slot in the most dangerous areas. So, maybe next year, Leaf fans. Moving on into the B tier, we've got the 89 David Pastrnak. 6'1", 195 with sniper forward as well as shooting boost or agile dangler. A little bit more difficult to activate though. With gold snipe, silver 1T, and puck on a string. Again, fun complementary abilities, but not ones that you want to be the focus of the card. 93 speed, excel, and agility is fine, as is his shot. Very good. Hand stats are great. Again, defensively, because these are World Junior cards, it makes sense, but they are defensive liabilities, even though wing is the position that you need to worry about defense the least. Much like John Tavares, they're just better options. If you've got Brendan Shanahan, any sort of McKinnon card, Lemieux, hell, even the next-gen Connor Bedard, I'd rather just have him, unless, again, I was a Pastrnak fan. I just think there are better options. Also in the B tier is the 89 Richard Panik from Slovakia. I'll be honest with you, this is the most intriguing card to me, simply because I feel like very few people will make it because he's not a very popular player. But on top of that, he's got a very weird ability combo in Gold Crease Crasher, which we just haven't seen. And if you shoot for rebounds, it's just so situational, but could help. Truculence on a forward is always hit or miss. It depends on your playstyle, but Backhand Beauty has proven to be, for the cost of one ability point, very effective, especially on breakaways because the forehand backhand is the money goal. With Speed Boost activated, he can get the 94 speed, 92 excel. His shot is in the mid-90s. Hand stats are in the lower 90s, but he's got 90 body checking. Again, I think just one of the more fun cards, but much like Pasternak, there's just so many good left-handed wingers that you could throw in that you probably have that would be hard to justify the 130,000 coins it would cost to make this card. On to the A tier, the Week 2, Tim Stützle. Love the look of this card. Germany just has some of the best uniform in international hockey, in my opinion. Sniper forward, agile dangler boost, as well as shooting boost. I've talked about this a lot. Shooting boost is just so good with that combo, makes his shot almost maxed. Gold make it snappy, born leader, and silver elite edges on someone who's got 94 speed, excel, and 95 agility. He's got great hand stats in the middle 90s. Just a very, very fun card. I used his X Factor at the beginning of the year, and it was a really nice card. Again, kind of suffers from that same thing that Panic does. There's just so many good lefties. But if you are a Sens fan or like Tim Stützle, the player, you've got a very usable card here. Something to also consider is that the Week 1 William Nylander, in my opinion, is in the A tier as well. Very, very similar card, only they switched to make it snappy and elite edges, which is, in my opinion, the better switch. He's got the same skating ability, and he's going for like 140,000 coins. Remember, it costs 130,000 to make him untradeable. 140,000, you can buy him tradable. So again, always look at the cost in the auction house, guys, and do the math. Like if you're going to go and make one of these cards, make sure that they're not going for roughly the same price tradable, because that means like in a couple weeks you could sell and recoup some of your losses. So again, just keep that in mind. I still firmly believe that the Global Series Nylander is probably worth it still. So Timo Meier is effectively the reason why Panic is in the B tier. He's 220 pounds, 6'1", great size. I would go shooting boost to up his shot, but he's got 3 very good abilities all across the board. Very hard to knock off the puck. So if you were looking for a left-handed forward that was a little bit bigger, I'd probably go Meier over Panic. But again, I still think that there's just so many good lefties. This one comes in from the community, but I had Barkov in the A tier just by the basing of the look of him, and he has been fantastic. Again, from everyone in my community, he has been a very good card. 6'3", 215 is a perfect center build. 90 faceoffs, which again is good, but not great. However, he does get defensive boost, which will help that out. No contest, yoink, and big rig. The only one I would consider activating is no contest, but you could run him without any abilities, and he's a very good center without that. So something to keep in mind. Also, for perspective, is why John Tavares skating is always such a hindrance for his card. Alex Barkov 6'3" and has faster skating. Again, just kind of highlighting that point. Then we've got the 89 John Carlson. We finally got a very good right-handed defenseman from this event. He gets accelerator boost or defensive boost, which would almost max out his defensive awareness. Gold Heat Seeker, which has been a lot of fun. Silver Stick 'em Up on someone who's 6'3" is very usable. Ice Pack you can leave, but 92 speed and excel on someone who's 6'3", 215 is going to be in your lineup for quite some time. I think it will depend on who you've got in your lineup. If you've got Adrian Coyne and let's say X Factor Makar, I'd rather have them over John Carlson, which would push him down to third pairing, which is obviously not worth it. So again, team context is going to matter here. Lastly, in the A tier, we've got the 89 Patrick Laine, an absolute horse. 90 speed and excel with 91 agility, but he's 6'5", 205. Gold 1 is a good ability. It will allow you to score one-timer goals. It is just a little bit more difficult to consistently set him up in a one-timer spot to take advantage of it. But 99 shot across the board with the synergies activated. You can't mess around. Line A cards are always great in Hockey Ultimate Team. If you really need a right-handed winger, Line A would be the one I would recommend. And then into the S tier. And S tier, in my opinion, is a must-make if you are trying to have the most competitive Hockey Ultimate Team. We've got the 89 Victor Hedman. 6'7", 244 with two-way defenseman, as well as defensive boost, which will max out his defensive awareness. He's got gold shutdown, one of the best defensive abilities in the game, as well as quick pick. On top of that, you can throw on Silver Seeing Eye, so you can just huck it home from the point. 90 speed and excel on someone who's 6'7" is going to be in your lineup for a few months. All in all, very good card. This is the one, if you are going to make one, to make. This will make God squads. Now, I want to talk to you about making these cards because you should not make them until Team of the Year is finished. The Nation of Hockey event sets are not going anywhere. These are going to work like prior events. It will cost you one event collectible to make an 82 overall version of the card, but you can do that at any time. There's no need to rush out and make them. In my opinion, what I would do is simply just wait until Team of the Year is finished. Remember, with that in mind, if you have an X Factor card that hasn't been maxed out yet that has a chance at Team of the Year, don't rush out and finish it before the Team of the Year is announced, but you can simply hold on to all the free power-up collectibles, and if you have, let's say, Matthew Tkachuk and he wins, you can upgrade him all the way to get the discount for free when it comes to Team of the Year. So again, just wait. Try to be as patient as possible. Wait for next week's event, as that when it does look like Team of the Year will drop like it has every single other year, that would be my recommendation for you. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time.